Hi, welcome to another episode of Beauty Chat with YJ. In the house we have today an amazing guest, the first African American female to cut and style the Dallas Cowboy, and voted by one of the roughest years by Dallas Weekly as the best hairstylist in Dallas. But don't take my word for it. Help me welcome Myesha Meeks.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Myesha, for being part of the Beauty Chat episode today with YJ. I'm really glad to have you here with me today. I feel like we built a connection during the time that we were neighbors in my prior salon address where I used to operate. And I've learned a lot from you. You're very resilient, and being in this business and being specialized in your area and then being a single mom, I learned a lot from you. And one of my favorite quotes from you when we were talking about food and food discipline, and I remember you are walking up the stairs with this black woman attitude. We need to eat colors in this house, fruits and veggies. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, eat colors.
That was one of my favorites. But I want to ask you, who is Myesha?
Oh, wow. Who is Myesha? Well, Myesha is a mother, an entrepreneur. Myesha is a creative. And when I say creative, just a creative and a creator of all things. I'm a friend. I'm a daughter. You know, I'm a lot of things. But most of all, what can I call me? Myesha is loyal within that whole realm of everything. Yeah, so I'm the loyal one.
That's good. And I can tell you, yes, you do. I really got some pieces of advices from you that really helped me out to boost maturity as a person.
Really?
Yes. And we found each other in the hallway and we had our conversations and little conversations, and I learned from you many things, and I just wanted to let you know that.
Yeah. So you never know. You know, when you go your day by day and you're just doing your thing, you just never know what energy you're going to put out there and what people are going to receive from what you put out there. So I appreciate that, because you just never know.
So now, Myesha, tell me about how did you get into being the first African American female to work with the Dallas Cowboys?
Okay, so funny story. I used to work at Sport Clips. I don't know if you've heard. It's a franchise. Okay. So I worked at Sport Clips, and it was the location in Irving, Valley Ranch. And it was owned at the time by Jay Novacek, he's an ex-Cowboy player. So it was one of the few corporate locations that I was working at. And so he was part owner with Gordon. So anyway, I was working there, and because of where the location was, the practice facility was right up the street in Valley Ranch. So Jay was like, anybody that either plays for the Cowboys or is affiliated with the organization, they can come up here and get free haircuts. So I mean, you had the players, coaches, the water boys, like everybody. But we knew who they were because they had a specific card. So anyway, that's where I was introduced to NFL life, because before, the only sports I was watching was like my cousins and stuff. So we had a lot of the players coming in, and back then it was Romo was on the bench, so that'll let you know how long ago that was. So working at Sport Clips, I kind of outgrew the space, and Hightower was being built. So as Hightower was being built, my clients were like, hey, why don't you go to this new place up the street? You'll be your own business owner. So anyway, I did that, and with that, a lot of the guys followed me. Jason Witten was one of them. He was a client for a long time. Followed me over there, and so when I got there, there was another barber that was cutting a lot of the players. They were really apprehensive because I'm a female? And they were like, she can cut, but I don't know. And they had heard about me because I did have one black guy from the team that would come to sport clips. His name was Kenyon Coleman.
Okay.
Coolest guy. His wife was like, you need to go get a haircut. So she sent him to sport clips. So they would see Kenyon in the locker room and be like, oh, your haircut is nice. Who did it? And he was like, this girl from sport clips. But they wouldn't come to sport clips.
Yeah.
So when they realized I was the one from sport clips that moved to Hightower, they would see me and they were still kind of on the fence. But then after they would see Kenyon, they see Jason. I can't remember who it was at the time, but it just took one, then two, and then they would just trickle in. By the but next thing you know, I had the whole D line.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it was an interesting transition because they were like, no, we're not going to sport clips. But then once I got to Hightower, they felt more comfortable. I was in my own space. They weren't bothered, anything like that. So, and that's just how it is. And then once you start with one or two, they tell, you know, the newbies on the team or people that get traded or whatnot. So, and I just became that person for not only haircuts, but like dreadlocks. So.
Yes, you do have a hand for dreadlocks and all of that. You can definitely design the map.
So yeah, I had some of the guys with like Marion Barber at the time. He was our running back. Was he running back? Yeah, he was running back. He would come in every week to get his hair done so it could look fresh for the game. So yeah, it was fun.
Yes, I even got to see some of, you know, of your clients, you know, from the players that came up to the suites, and you can tell somebody's an athlete. They're, you know, tall guys, and they have, you know, a specific cut that they go for. And I was like, woo. What's that?
A lot of times, because they would be there so often, everybody knew them, and they knew everybody, especially that was around me. So it was a comfort thing. So it wasn't like, oh, I don't want to be bothered. They're like, hey, how you doing? How's your wife? Or how, you know? So it just became a big family. So it was cool. Yeah, during
that is so awesome. Now, 2020 was a rough year for all of us. Hairstylist, it was really tough. And then you get voted as the best hairstylist of Dallas by Dallas Weekly.
Dallas Weekly, yep.
How did you do that?
I have no clue. I don't even know how I got nominated. But yeah, Dallas Weekly sent me they sent me a message and they were like, hey, you've been nominated. Get your clients and friends to vote. And so I just sent like a few messages. Hey, I'm up for Dallas Best Hairstylist, because they had several several different areas, because it had barber, natural hairstylist, but it was kind of cool because they didn't put me in a box, and they just put hairstylist, because I do so much.
Yes.
You know, I'm not just a barber, I'm not just a natural hairstylist. So it was kind of cool. But anyway, they sent me a message and said, hey, you won. I won. They voted for me, and I was like, okay. So that's, yeah, it was a shock, but it was humbling. It was very humbling because I don't win much stuff, you know. So.
Welcome to the club.
So it was really cool. So I got a little plaque, and I was able to hang it up in my suite that I was working in. So I'll take that with me.
Yes, of course, absolutely. And I don't think you should question how did that happen, because you do have an arsenal of amazing work. And I definitely have an idea how that happened. You're just amazing. So what inspired you to be in this industry and then take over the area where you take over? Because you do amazing work when it comes to locks and braids and natural hairstyles, and I mean, you're an artist. You're an artist. I mean, you can do from the simplest thing as a blowout, because I feel, you know, blowouts are simple things, but then you go above and beyond with the locks and style. I mean, what inspired you to?
I can say who inspired me. So my grandmother.
Oh.
My grandmother is funny. She's a hairstylist. 2020 retired her at 86 years old.
Oh.
Right.
Okay. So
my grandfather built a small salon outside of the home. So she's always worked in her own independent space.
Oh.
This is where I get it from.
Yeah.
But she inspires me all the time, even today. But growing up, I would go to East Texas. She's in a town called Quitman, Texas.
Oh.
So I would go to East Texas, and she would have me, and I'll be in the beauty shop all day. And she'd have her clients, and it wasn't then that I realized I wanted to do hair. It was later. But just having that energy of the women talking, and she always had good energy, and these women confided in her. Yet they would tell her all their business. I didn't know what they were talking about, but I just knew growing up, I was like, wow, Granny's a counselor. She's a, you know, she does all these great things and does great hair. So knowing that, I was like, you know what? And then I loved hair. I was always doing my doll's hair and doing everybody's hair. So my hair, cutting my hair. So I knew between her, she inspired me just by growing up in the salon. And then once I decided, okay, this is the path I'm going to take, she still was giving me advice. Some I took, some I didn't take. But she was giving me advice along the way. And to this day, like, she still inspires me. And she's always asking questions about what's new in the industry. I'll send her products, you know. But yeah, I would say my grandmother.
Inspire you.
She's the one.
That is so awesome.
My mom's mom.
Yes, that is so awesome. And I've known your mom. I got to meet her, you know, the time that she came over to the salon, and I really like her energy. And I was like, she don't need Myesha to come and present her, because she will present herself.
Yes.
Oh yes, Myesha, she's my kid. It's so nice to have somebody to, she's my kid. Like, I claim her as my kid, okay? But she will present herself, and she's so outgoing, and she sells herself easily. So that I was really happy to meet your mom as well when I got to meet her. And it's a round of women that I got to know, your daughter, you, and then now I hear about your grandma, and it sounds like it's an empowered generation of female in your family, and that's awesome. We need more of that running, you know, in our families. So has it been any easy for you taking on to this journey as a hairdresser and then being a single mom?
Has it been easy?
What is the level of difficulty that you, from 1 to 10, what would you say?
I would have to put it up there with a 10. Because there's a difference between being single and being in this industry and being an entrepreneur, but adding another life, adding your child, and you don't ask to be a single mother. Like, it just, I mean, it happened. I didn't want this life. I didn't ask for this life. Right. But it is what it is. And it's definitely a 10. Because not only are you managing a business, trying to keep yourself together, but then you have this little person looking at you like, mommy, you know. So it was I can't say it is very difficult, but it's very rewarding. Yes, I will say that. I bet it's challenging, and I know God is putting me in this position for a reason as a single mom. So
now I do have a picture, Myesha, that I want to show you. What does this picture mean to you?
Oh wow. Yep, that was the end of an 18-year, I'll say era. That picture was the beginning, but yet it was the end. So I look at that like my favorite number is number 8. And I don't know if anybody's into numerology. I wasn't until I was like, what does 8 mean? Because I like it so much. But it's new beginnings. And so when I see that, I see the number 8. Because even though I can think about everything that I lost in that fire, and I can think about the memories that I had, but the thing is, I still have my mind. So I can still remember those things. Nobody was in there. Nobody got hurt. Nobody was killed. So with that being said, let the earth have those things. You know, I'm good. You're good. Like, we weren't there. And I feel like God did that for a reason. You know, okay, this is going to happen 2 days after we shut down. You know, but, you know, it was heartbreaking. But when I see it now, all I see is number 8. I see
A new beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know that you have someone that is invaluable in your life, and she runs the show.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like your mom. It's like your mom, you, and then her.
Yes.
And you don't need to introduce her. She will introduce herself.
Absolutely.
And so she's become, and I'm talking about your daughter, Serenity. And she's become not grown, but she's big enough now to where you can sit down and have this more serious conversation with her. Because, she's getting into, being a young lady and all of that. But I know at some point of our lives, when we see our kids being older, you start to loosen up a little bit, and I can take over, work a little bit more. But when seeing Serenity at this stage, what does that make you feel?
I miss that age.
You miss that?
Mm-hmm. She was 5. Yes, that was like her first headshot.
Yes.
So I miss that age, but I'm enjoying this journey as she gets older, and I'm understanding, because at that age I worked a lot. I worked a lot. It wasn't until last year when we shut down. This is the most time I've spent with her, other than when I had her. So I realized, when you have a child that depends on you, looks up to you, they could care less about things. Of course, they're gonna ask for things, but it's that time that you can dedicate to them that's invaluable. So when I see her and when I think of her and her energy, you think, oh, she can handle it, but she's still a child. She still wants her mom. So I had to figure out a way to make that happen. And thank God I did. So
Good. I'm glad, because I've been there to where you just leave home for a period of time, you come back and your kids are developed in a certain way to where you say, wait, how long have I been out?
Yes, where did the time go?
Yes. So I understand you completely in that one. Having kids and being an entrepreneur it's really hard. It's a hard journey, but it's harder for us because minority is one thing. Minority and being a female, it's another thing.
Yes.
Minority, female, and single mom, it's like another complete category. And so I understand you, but I can't even imagine doing it all,
Because I do it all.
Yes.
Like, I have to do all the work. I have to make sure her schoolwork is done. Like, doing everything. I don't have anybody to just say, hey, can you just handle this for me? No, I gotta make sure she eats. I gotta work to make sure she eats.
Yes.
Then I gotta prepare the meal. I gotta make sure I gotta pick her up from school. It's just a lot.
Yes.
It is. And I don't know if people really and truly understand the challenges that come with being a single parent. But it's very challenging.
But it is often undervalued. You're just a mom. Oh my God, you're just a mom.
Yeah.
And
there's no such thing.
Yes,
Just a mom.
right, exactly. We're counselor as hairdressers. We have to be counselor for your kids too. You need to know where their minds are at, and you have to be a chef because I got picky kids. You gotta figure it out for them to eat, and then on top of that, you gotta be a teacher. Especially on 2020, you had to literally be a teacher for your kids, and then being a business owner on top of that, because especially in this industry, there's so much that people have no idea that is there, and we need to take care of those things.
Right.
So I can just imagine. Now I see you really happy in this picture.
Yes.
I see you're really happy in this picture, and so the lady behind this picture. She is your mother.
My mom.
How would you describe your mom?
My mom, she was also a single mother. Now, I did have my father, but I would see him every other weekend. And he's fine. He's in Fort Worth. But my mom, she is very outspoken.
Yes.
She's very outspoken. She is a hard worker. She's a giver. She is probably most of the time one of the sweetest people. You know, she will do anything for anybody. She will give you her last and won't think twice about it. But my mom, she has also inspired me in different ways because of how she did raise me, and to be respectful and to consider others. But I just love her. She's a great mommy and an even better Mimi.
Yeah. Yes. So her and Serenity had a great connection.
And I think she thinks now that I'm at an age where I have my daughter, and really my daughter just wants to be with her all the time. She doesn't realize, Mom, I miss you too. Like, I want to see you too. And I don't think she realizes, I still want you around. Like, I'm not just pushing you and just putting Serenity on you. Like, I want to spend my time with you as well, even though I'm grown. But I'm a mommy's girl. Yes.
That's all of us.
No disrespect to my daddy, but you know,
that's most of us, yeah.
I'm a mama's girl. Yeah.
Can't beat mama.
That's my twin.
Yes. You'll have a twin energy, definitely. How would you describe single mom life?
Single mom life. I would describe it as, like I said, it is challenging, but it's very rewarding because in a selfish way, I have her all to myself. You know, like by doing everything, I do have to be good cop, bad cop, but I'm her everything. She's my everything. So I guess if there was a benefit to being a single mom, and her dad is not a part of her life, so it's literally just me. I have her all to myself. Like, she's just mine. So with that being said, as a single mom, I can raise her the way I want her to be raised because he chose to not be there. Okay. So I love that part. And being a single mother to a daughter, like, that's my little mini me. So when she was little, I used to just dress her like a little baby doll. As she's getting older, I give her a little more freedom. Strange, but you know, that's her freedom to dress the way she wants to dress. And it's just fun. Like, I'm having fun being a mommy and a single mommy.
That's awesome. You're enjoying the journey. That's great. Is there a message that you want to give to Serenity? You want to have Serenity in front of you right now. What would you tell her?
What would I tell Serenity at the age of 9? I would tell her to always by considering others, consider yourself. So she's a giver like me and my mom, but oftentimes when you are so willing to give, you forget about you. And so even at the tender age of 9, like, she can be so into other people and helping other people, she'll forget about little Serenity. So I would tell her, always remember Serenity, you know, not in a selfish way, but always remember you while you're considering others. And I think she can understand that.
Yes. She can catch things pretty quick. And you say 9, she looks developed.
She's tall.
Yes. Physically and mentally, because she's a pretty mature kid.
She grew up with a Mimi.
Yeah.
Like older people.
It's been a couple of years since the last time I saw her. And as a baby, she was always making smart choices. You know, like, can't go downstairs. My mom don't want me to go downstairs by myself. You know? Right. So, what about your mom? You have your mom in front of you right now. What would you tell your mom?
Tell my mom, thank you. Just thank you. That's my rock.
Yes?
Yes. Thank you for just being available for me and now for Serenity. But I know if there's one person I can call and they're going to answer the phone, it's my mother. Yes. Hands down. Like, there's a lot of people in my life, but my mama has my back for sure. She's always there.
That's awesome. Have a mama that you can count on. Really good. And now, we know that schools are full right now, beauty schools. We do have a lot of artists coming out. What would be your message to those new upcoming artists coming out,
That's good.
getting into this industry?
So for the newbies, I would always remember to know the basics. Remember the basics, because no matter what trends come, no matter what's going to come in style as far as hair is concerned, it's always going to go back to the basics. So whether it's cutting, coloring, styling, like you always need to know those basic foundations when doing hair, because I don't care how cool you think something is, it's always going to circle back. You know? So you have to always have that foundation and just know your basics.
Okay, yeah. Yes, please know your basics.
Because a lot of people just jump into something, oh, this is cool, let me just try it this way, and then they don't get the results that they want. But by knowing, okay, this is what I was taught in school and that I've learned, and it's the same thing, you're just adding different layers to the trends. So,
I highly believe that.
yes, know your
Because bobs are not, for example, bobs haircuts are not a today thing. Cleopatra back then, that's what they call it, the Cleopatra cut in Spanish.
Right.
And it's back again, but then now you add the side bob, the asymmetrical bob, adding all those layers of the trend to the knowledge that we already have. So yes, I agree with you on that one. Now, Myesha, where do you see yourself within the next 5 years? What's Myesha aspirations in terms of business?
In 5 years, so I'm learning. 2020 taught me a lot as far as planning. So it's always good to have a plan, but don't be so tight on that plan, like just in case something happens. So where I would like to be in the next 5 years, I would like to own my own salon suites.
Okay.
Yes, I have an idea, and we're working on that idea, and it may take 5 years to do it because it's on a grand scale. But that's one major thing that I would like. I would also like to be able to be in a position where I can continue writing children's books, because outside of hair, I'm also a writer.
Okay.
So to be able to focus on that and continue to be a good mommy.
Yes, that's most
and
important.
be available.
Yes.
So, you know what? I guess financial freedom would be in there too. Which will give me the opportunity to do more. So.
Yes, absolutely. And when we say financial freedom, a lot of the time, what would come to most people's mind is just money raining on you, and you don't have to do anything. But a lot of the time, financial freedom is doing the things that you really enjoy doing while you make money doing it. And then, of course, you have time to, reward yourself, nice vacations and that nice pair of shoes that I want. So financial freedom comes in so many ways.
Exactly.
Just for those who think it's going to rain money and I'm going to be. So, Myesha, thank you so much. I appreciate your time and availability to come out and be with us today and be part of the Beauty Talk with YJ. And thanks to my camera crew, guys. They are always amazing. You guys, I want to thank you so much for being in the symphony. And I expect you to be next time on my Beauty Chat with YJ. Today we had the amazing Myesha. Visit her YouTube channel for her and Serenity.
It's Serenity's channel.
Serenity.
Yes.
Okay. And then we're going to post that here. And we're going to let you know so you can visit Myesha as well. But thank you once again for being part of the Beauty Chat with YJ. I'll see you on the next episode.